It's been really tough to avoid news stories about the Wells Fargo fraud scandal. Starting in 2011, the bank's employees opened more than 2 million sham accounts, bank accounts and credit card accounts without the knowledge or consent of consumers from across the country. Customers learned of the scheme only when they started getting hit with fees for those fake accounts or noticed that their credit was mysteriously taking a hit. Well, SB 33, frankly, what it does is when banks or financial institutions commit fraud on one of their customers, set up fake accounts, it allows their customers to use a court of law instead of forced arbitration. Well, we've seen what's happened in the United States, where over 2 million fraudulent accounts, over 900,000 right here in the state of California have been set up, and where these banks, or Wells Fargo, for example, in this case, has targeted, undocumented immigrants, people just over here that are struggling with the language, small businesses. So I'm proud to announce that I do have Treasurer John Chung that is a co-sponsor of this bill, as well as the Consumer Federation and consumer attorneys of the state of California, and about 13 or 14 other groups throughout the state of California that are involved in consumer advocates.
Wells Fargo put salt on the wound of their victims who tried to sue by forcing disputes to be resolved through forced arbitration instead of a public courtroom. Wells Fargo argues that the arbitration clauses included in the legitimate contract customers signed to open accounts also covers disputes related to bogus ones set up with their consent. Now, instead of allowing victims to have their day in court, where an independent judge or jury can arrive at a verdict following an open and fair trial, Wells Fargo pushed its customers seeking justice into forced arbitration. While the bank's latest marketing slogan is, "On the side of customers," it continues to deny its victims their right to be made whole by coercing them into secretive process that tilts heavily in favor of corporations.
Years ago, and prevented that fraud from spreading as far and wide as it did. Both of these groups are co-sponsors of this bill. Paulina Gonzalez from the California Reinvestment Coalition, Henny Kelly.
That they are going to be robbed by their bank. And that is exactly what Wells Fargo did.
We all must have just done a very good job describing this bill. There's